It's pretty common for a game company to make a game that breaks sales records, and after achieving this, make another game that doesn't fall far from the tree, but still delivers its own original spin on the previous formula. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom did this last year after Breath of the Wild became the best-selling game in the franchise, and 20 years before that, Nintendo did the same thing with Majora's Mask, that used a lot of assets from its predecessor, the Ocarina of Time. Sometimes this is done really well, like in the cases I just mentioned, but in other cases, it's executed really poorly. For example, Modern Warfare 3, which took a ton of assets from its older sibling, Modern Warfare 2. Now, the part about taking assets is only a bad thing because it wasn't done for an artistic reason. It was done solely to save development time so that they could ship out their yearly cash cow as early as possible. Now, today I'm going to be talking about a game that's very special to me. A game that built off of its predecessor, but brought so much to the table that it set a new standard in the market. That being Grand Theft Auto Vice City. What a game. GTA 3, which was released a year prior, was an absolute tank of a project. It took around 3 years to develop, and despite having to go back and change a bunch of features before launch, it came to be a massive success. Rockstar loves one-upping themselves, because the only people that can beat Rockstar is Rockstar. And the first case of this approach being shown in their game development was Grand Theft Auto Vice City. In an interview with Leslie Benzies, the former president at Rockstar North, he touches on how they were on a massive high after the release of GTA 3. It was a huge success, and even people that didn't play video games knew of the controversy and impact it had on the world. They originally wanted to make a mission expansion pack for GTA 3 like they did with GTA London 1961 back in 1999. They wanted the expansion pack to be an 80s Miami vibe and just be a few missions. Eventually, the project became too big, and they decided to make a game out of it. But they didn't just make it a little bigger than GTA 3, they made it way bigger than GTA 3, with only a year of development time. The reason why GTA 3 took 3 years to develop and Vice City only took 1 is because Vice City reused a lot of code from GTA 3. If you play the game for about 5 minutes, you can tell that GTA 3's skeleton is very present. But that doesn't mean there weren't a lot of improvements. In GTA Vice City, there's actual facial animations with moving eyeballs and eyelids. And although it looks pretty strange back then, it was a massive technological advancement. And speaking of technological advancements, all the cutscenes used motion capture, which is still used to this day in video games across most AAA studios. Aside from looking at the game from a technological standpoint, it also just had a lot more content than GTA 3. Vice City is all about growing your empire, and you can purchase businesses, change your clothes, fly helicopters, and they also licensed a lot of classic 80s songs for the in-game radio, like Out of Touch or I Just Died in Your Arms. In my opinion though, the most attractive feature about GTA Vice City is that it was the first GTA game that featured a talking protagonist. Tommy Vercetti is a lot of fun to play as, and most of that is thanks to his cocky attitude. There's not a lot to his character other than him being a tough guy, but for a simple 2002 game like Vice City, that's all he really needs to be. Something that contributed to GTA 3's success before Vice City was the big name actors they brought on for some of the characters. Frank Vincent was brought on as Salvatore, Joe Pantoliano was Luigi, and Michael Madsen, who played in Reservoir Dogs, was Tony Cipriani. There's a lot more big name actors in GTA 3, but I'm just setting the stage. Rockstar had Goodfellas Ray Liotta play the main protagonist Tommy Vercetti in GTA Vice City. I'm sure most people watching this video know, but he apparently was very difficult to work with, and was the main reason why Rockstar doesn't hire big name actors to play roles in their games now. Ray Liotta would constantly go bipolar with the crew. Some days coming into the office wanting to give it his all, and some days not trying because in his mind, it's just a stupid video game. In an interview with Ray Liotta on the Late Night Show with Conan O'Brien, he even states how he had no idea how huge Vice City was going to be.
You know what's funny? You probably when you took a certain gig doing a voice for Grand Theft Auto, the game. When you do this game, people, you think, okay, I'm just going to do this voice. It's not a big deal, and then it became a huge hit, and it's sort of part of the pop culture now. Is that surprising to you?
Totally. I had no idea. I'm not a game player. I was never a Pac-Man guy when that first game came out. I was never into that stuff at all. I never played any games, and this was like. It's just like it sold like 8 million units. It's like a $400 million movie. It's like
it's huge. Yeah, it's like you're in a huge hit movie.
Huge. And it was fun. You're just sitting there cursing at people.
In my opinion, the funniest story about casting a celebrity for Vice City, or in Rockstar history, is told in the book Jacked, when they casted adult film star Gemma Jameson to play the character Candy Sucks, who in-game is working under the same field. When Jenna walked into the studio to read her roles, she showed up with her father, which made it awkward for Dan Houser, Rockstar's co-founder, who needed her to record some dodgy lines. Navid Kansari, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Navid Kansari, another lead creator at Rockstar, whispered to Dan, "Look, I have no problem with her father, but I do not feel comfortable making her moan and groan like she's being banged." Eventually, the scene came where Jenna had to moan into the mic like she was going to orgasm, but Dan didn't really know how to ask her to do that since her father was watching it all play out. Dan awkwardly asked her, "So, could you pretend you sound like you're excited?" "What do you mean?" she responded. "Sound like you're happy, like you're having a great time, like you're eating a chocolate bar." She went straight-faced and said, "So like I'm having sex or like I'm eating a chocolate bar?" "Yes," Dan said, "like you're having sex. That would be perfect." I honestly can't blame the production team on how they handled this. I'd imagine if anybody were in their shoes, it would be awkward, especially with the dad there and everything. With all these complications involving celebrities feeling bigger than the project, as Leslie Benzies said, and not giving it their all, Rockstar naturally decided to stop casting big names. I think one of the key things about Vice City is its setting in 80s Miami. Because of the licensed music, lights, and NPCs rollerblading around, it truly captures what 80s Miami was, and even though it's very low poly by today's standards, it's still a blast to play. Vice City was also home to some of the most iconic locations in GTA history, such as the Ocean View Hotel, which is seen in the GTA 6 trailer, and the Malibu Club, which is also shown in text a few times in the GTA 6 2022 leaked footage. They also scaled down the bullshit level, which made it age a lot better, even if it still aged like a fine glass of milk. However, if somebody wanted to say, buy a Steam key and played it today, they could 100% beat the game. As for GTA 3, I'd rather play the definitive edition than even try that PC port again. Seriously, I genuinely recommend playing the definitive edition on PC if you want to play GTA 3. And finally, what do you think about Vice City? Do you like the 80s aesthetic, and did you play it in your childhood? Personally, I only played Vice City about 2 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. I'm doing a replay of the game right now, and it's really fun, but oh my goodness, Demolition Man and Copland, they shouldn't exist, man. I don't know who at Rockstar thought those missions were a good idea. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and make sure to have a good one.
Is this me?
Nice ass, baby.